Jaguar Wright has been on a roll lately, exposing loads of big names in Hollywood and the entertainment industry, like Beyonce and Jay-Z. Her latest target is Ray J, and she's been speaking on the late, great singing legend Whitney Houston's death, which she says Ray J played a part in. And thanks to her spilling the tea on Ray J and the behind-the-scenes details of Whitney Houston's death, word on the street is that the feds have reopened the case and they're looking right at Ray J. Needless to say, he's not too happy about Jaguar speaking on his name or the kind of attention he's getting because of it. And today we're gonna talk all about it. Let's do some storytelling because, let's be honest, there aren't a lot of people who remember the story after 12 years. Ray J and Whitney Houston were dating for years on the DL. Ray J always played it cool and dodged questions about them dating as best as he could, but the senior editor for Us Weekly said he was her big, eyebrow-raising relationship after Bobby. They started being romantically connected in 2007 after Bobby and Whitney were officially over. And there are lots of rumors about Ray J being connected to illicit substances and even being a dealer. Jaguar Wright says that Whitney Houston was writing a book exposing a powerful industry executive with ties to Diddy, and that Diddy and Ray J teamed up and took her out.
Said on several occasions that she was They saw her body. She didn't just die in a tub, like she was up. Her and had a fight 2 days before. And from what I was told, Bobby Christina was present for some of that fight. And then the next thing you know, she's dead. Ray J was the last person to see her alive. He let the drug dealer in, but she was sober, right? But he let the drug dealer in that gave her the shot. And Brandy was the one that found her. But you know, they pledge allegiance to. He needed her back, but he needed her back and under his control. Thing with her name on it is strictly for the purposes of financial gain for those who have access to her estate, including.
Our girl Jaguar says that Whitney didn't go gently into that good night after a dip in the tub the way a lot of people think, and that there was a lot of really sinister stuff going on behind the scenes. She even said that Whitney's body had injuries on it, which probably had less to do with an accident in the bathtub and more to do with an altercation of some sort, if you get my drift. The music executive that Jaguar points to is linked to both Diddy and Ray J. Ray J actually called Diddy a role model, and Diddy allegedly owed this executive a lot of money. And people say that Diddy paid some of that debt off with some of his favorite currency, people. He allegedly got people to give the exec everything he wanted and let him have his way with them. You remember when I said that Ray J dodged questions about his relationship with Whitney? Check out these quotes. This is when he was asked if there was anything romantic with her. Our friendship is something that people might not understand, maybe because of the age difference, but we've always just been friends. We hug, we laugh, we go out to dinner, we talk about, different things in our lives, and she's a cool person. Yeah, that 17-year age gap was definitely something that caused people to give them the side eye. But then when reporters pressed him and asked if they were hooking up, he said, "We've always kept our relationship as private as we could, but when we go out, she's such an icon, it reaches masses. But for the most part, we've always been friends and we've kept everything hush-hush and just quiet, and we really don't focus on that." That just sounds like tell me y'all banging without telling me y'all banging. That might have been because of her chaotic relationship with Bobby Brown, which was famously known to be abusive. In his book, he wrote, "It was a messy whirlwind of constant drama, loud arguments, and that exhausting cycle of breaking up and making up." Whitney's family said that Bobby got her hooked on illicit substances, which he disputes. Bobby even says that Whitney stepped out on him with Tupac, which really caught him off guard because he was friends with him. Then he alleges that when Tupac died, Whitney grieved hard and that he had to sit there and watch his wife grieve over this man she loved while she was married to him. And he says that caused them to start the breakup makeup process. Their divorce caused a lot of drama and led to their daughter Bobby Christina's own personal struggles. And that drama really ignited when Whitney started being seen with Ray J. Now, despite his denial of a romantic relationship, the two were actually seen together just days before her death.
Rumor out of the way that I heard. You've been seen around town with Whitney Houston. Now I know the rumors back in the day that y'all were hanging out. Well, what's the deal right now?
We hang, it's Grammy weekend and she's in town and we had dinner and she's such an icon to where it reaches the masses. But right. we had a good time, we had dinner, that's it.
So platonic, good friend. Hey.
Allegedly, Ray J wasn't just someone that Whitney kept around for emotional support. People say that he supplied her and helped fuel her crack addiction. This isn't the first woman to say that Ray J was around when they were in drugs either. We all know about Kim K's infamous video with Ray J that skyrocketed her to fame. Well, Kim says she was on ecstasy and weed when she did the film. On an episode with Keeping Up with the Kardashians, she said that her lip kept trembling and that it was allegedly a side effect of the ecstasy. Ray J denies that story and says he's offended that Kim would say she was under the influence during the filming. Whitney's addiction struggle was no secret. She tried rehab and it didn't work for her. She talked openly about how she used drugs to deal with her emotional pain and trauma. She admitted that she liked to party, which, loads of celebrities do, so I can't really fault her for that. But she also said she never did it because she wanted to end herself. I'm not self-destructive. I'm not a person who wants to die. Sadly, she lost her battle against addiction in 2012. In 2002, she did an interview with Diane Sawyer where she talked about addiction, her rocky relationship with Bobby Brown, and even the shady side of working in the industry.
It was rough. I think I kind of reverted back as I got older and said, well, I'm just gonna party, It was kind of a rebel in me,
Whitney dying, crack rehab fails.
First of all, let's get one thing straight. Crack is cheap. I make too much money to ever smoke crack. Let's get that straight, okay? We don't do crack. We don't do that. Crack is whack.
Is it alcohol? Is it marijuana? Is it cocaine? Is it pills?
It has been. At times.
All?
At times.
If you had to name the devil for you, the biggest devil among them?
That would be me. It's my deciding. It's my heart. It's what I want and what I don't want. Nobody makes me do anything I don't want to do.
Now, things start getting suspicious when you take into consideration that there are reports that Whitney started acting erratic after she met with the unnamed exec a couple of days before her death. It's said that she met with him before his yearly pre-Grammy party. They said that in photos, she was looking both disoriented and disheveled. It looked like sweat was just pouring down her face and that she had blood running down her leg. Then 2 days later, she was discovered unconscious in a bathtub and later died. Her assistant actually found her in the bathtub right before she was supposed to perform on stage. The assistant called for her bodyguard and together they pulled the deceased out of the bathtub. 20 minutes after her discovery, paramedics made the call that Whitney was dead. The coroner said she'd accidentally drowned in the bathtub. They also ruled that she'd had a heart disease and used cocaine, which compounded the situation. Then the autopsy found a whole cocktail of drugs in her system, including cocaine, marijuana, Flexeril, and Benadryl. I honestly can't imagine taking a nerve pill, muscle relaxer, and Benadryl all together, let alone throwing in cocaine and roofie to the mix. However, the coroner said that there wasn't enough of the drugs in the system to kill her, and that the singer was still breathing when she went under the water. But the really morbid part is that the exec's pre-Grammy party went on downstairs while Whitney's body was laying dead upstairs for literally hours, a fact that reporters were pretty critical of the partygoers for, as they should have been. Houston's body remained in the hotel room hours after emergency responders pronounced her dead. Downstairs, the extravagant party went on as planned, as investigators roamed the hotel lobby and women wearing designer ball gowns and men dressed in tuxedos shuffled by towards the red carpet. So, Whitney Houston died, and they literally threw a party. Granted, it was a pre-planned party, but still it could have been postponed given the circumstances. A private investigator looked into the case and said that, contrary to the coroner's report, Whitney was murdered. Contrary to the coroner's conclusion that her death was accidental, Hubel claims that Houston's body shows classic defense wounds consistent with someone fighting for her life.
They saw her body. She didn't just die in a tub like...
Jaguar confirms that too. That clip from Jaguar has been going viral here recently, and a lot of people have been calling out Ray J for Whitney's death. He blew a gasket and actually threatened to pursue legal action against Jaguar.
Because this shit is outrageous. But I came to the conclusion that once I seen a story about me and what you had to say about me and situations in my past, that is where I started to understand that you are totally fabricating stories and you are a complete liar. So that means that I have no respect for you and nothing you're saying. So now I'm gonna go further. How dare you disrespect Jay-Z and Beyonce? Jay-Z is an OG. don't ever disrespect Beyonce, because now that you're lying on me, and I know for sure that all that you're saying is a lie. Now you wanna Beyonce. Jaguar, you done f***ed up. Jaguar Wright, you done f***ed up. You don't even fucked up, don't you? You don't even fucked up. You know you done fucked up. Jaguar Wright. Jaguar Wright, you done fucked up. You done fucked up. Because now you lying on me. I know a lie when I know I didn't do something, right? You know somebody lying about you when you know the facts.
What about Ray J on the night Whitney died? Well, he was allegedly home when he found out and rushed to the Beverly Hilton hotel where she was found. But when he got there, cops allegedly wouldn't let him go in the room. He wasn't the only one either. Her daughter and Bobby Christina, as well as her cousin Jaguar Wright, all tried to see her and the police turned them all away. Later, a spokesperson told TMZ that he had no knowledge that she started taking drugs again. Whitney's sister, Leola Brown, said she thinks Ray J was responsible for Whitney's death. She did an interview on the Dr. Drew show where she said, "I saw Ray J coming out of the hotel hiding his head, being pushed into a car. Why? I looked and I said, why is he hiding his face? He's always trying to show his face around Whitney. Why now? Why are you trying to hide, Ray J?" That suspicion gets even more deep because Ray J got sued for clothes that he left in Houston's hotel room. Stylist Mark Littlejohn sued him for $2,880 to reimburse him for the clothing or wanted the clothing itself returned to him. That proves to me that Ray J was with Whitney shortly before her death, enough to leave clothes in her room. But fans don't believe his story for 1 second either. You speak on everything else except what really happened with Whitney Houston. Sit this one out, Ray J, cause why didn't you sue her yet? We all know she's not lying, neither is Allie. What are you coming for them? You are gonna mess around and incriminate yourself. You're not looking healthy either. I think an investigation needs to be had that focuses on you. It's funny that you say that, random internet person, because as it turns out, the feds think an investigation needs to be focused on Ray J too. Rumors are going around that Whitney's case is being reopened and they're laser focused on Ray J as suspect numero uno. We just found out what actually happened to Whitney Houston. But now I want to hear your thoughts on all of this. Do you think Whitney Houston was taken out by Ray J and Diddy? Do you think that Ray J may have been the one helping her get the drugs? Let me know in the comments and I'll see you in the next video.